So here we'll be covering, we'll start with a look at current challenges architect faces when we're working across multiple platforms and teams. Then we'll walk through the ACC, what's included, how it's structured. From there, we'll focus on Autodesk Docs and BIM Collaborate Pro. And towards the end, I'll walk you through the June 2025 product licensing, important announcements on the BIM Collaborate. And then we'll have a Q&A session. So let's talk about why this conversation matters. As a design teams, we're often working in a high-stake environment, coordinating across discipline and consultants, sometimes across time zone. And yet much of our work is still hampered and by fragmented tools and workflow. Each phase of the project has capable team, but those teams are often working in silos with a little bit visibility across discipline. Models, markup, and decision are being stored separately, and communication is mostly or used to be manual. We deal with different format, disconnected software, and manual workflow that don't really scale. As the project progress, teams try to connect more, but still rely on disconnected solution. Cloud storage, email, share folders, they help, but they aren't integrated with the design tools we use every day. And the result is the fragmented data, duplicate effort, and constant delay. Important decisions happens late, and by the time models reach the next team, they're already out of date. Disconnected solutions don't just delay delivery, they lead to inaccurate data, rework, and missed decision. What teams need is the real-time access, centralized data, and workflow that removes friction from the design coordination. We've just seen how fragmented the construction process can be, disconnected team tools, and leading to costly delay confusion. And this is what ACC was built to solve. It's a connected platform that brings together people, data, workflow across every phase of design, every phase, design, plan, build, and operate. By unifying these stages in one ecosystem, ACC helps to ensure that decision and information flow seamlessly, not just within one team, but across discipline and project phases. We've seen the four main phases of the projects: design, plan, build, and operate. This reflects the full life cycle of any AEC project. Each discipline is tied to a specific phase, but what's the key here is that ACC synchronized collaboration across all of them, breaking down barriers so the decision and data can move freely between phases and teams. This is a visual reminder that ACC isn't just a tool for one team, it means to serve the entire projects from concept to operation, with everyone working from the same source of truth. This chart gives us the breakdown, the core tools that makes up Autodesk Construction Cloud. I know you've probably seen this chart quite often from many other sources, but AEC is made up from three main products: the BIM Collaborate Pro for design collaboration and coordination, and cloud work sharing; Takeoff for quantification; and Build for project execution. So in this session, we'll take a closer look at how Autodesk Docs and BIM Collaborate Pro can help you build this connected design workflow. Start right inside the tools you can use every day. And some of you may be wondering, wait, isn't this just BIM 360 with a new name? That's a pretty fair question, but the BIM 360 actually laid the groundwork for the cloud collaboration, and many of us still use it today. But the ACC is more than just the rebrand. Think of ACC as the next gen of the cloud. It's include the functionality we came to rely on in BIM 360, but adds enhanced performance, tighter security, and more consistent experience across the team and phases. So, but if you are working on BIM 360 right now, the way you work remain unchanged. However, if you do not have BIM 360, or you've never used BIM 360 before, or are confused about what they look like, or thinking about renewal, you'll most likely will be purchasing BIM Collaborate Pro. And this image here just show, the BIM 360 is in the dark blue module and appear in grid, and then the ACC has a lighter UI and the module appear on the list. Regardless of whether you use BIM 360 or the ACC, every Autodesk Cloud project starts the same way with the document management system, and that system is Autodesk Docs. It's important to note here that Docs is a foundation for everything, including these 3 core products. And each of them runs on the Docs, the document management product that is comparable to BIM 360 Docs for the BIM 360 platform. It is a core component and the foundation of the Construction Cloud, and it acts as the common data environment and the data repository. By centralizing all project information, it helps reduce error, avoid duplication, and give teams real-time access to most up-to-date files, no matter where they are. And when everyone's working from the same source of truth, collaboration becomes more efficient, which leads into better projects and outcome. Here we see the simplified view of how teams members typically exchange information on the project. It's a giant matrix and hard to ensure the right information is with the right person at the right time. Often information lives within a different system, and information exchange is manual and error prone and can lead to costly mistakes. Now we see the same organization, but under common data environment. And of course, this is a simple way to looking at it as CDE, but there are many nuances with a CDE. The information flows through a central repository where ideally it is more easily controlled and up to date. It provides mechanism to gate information flow so that construction documents and other information such as markup and issues are only available when appropriate. So these are the features built on the Autodesk Docs CDE. I won't go through each of them, but what's important to know here that Docs isn't just a file storage, it's a full feature platform that supports everything from version control, reviews, to transmittal, to mobile access. Some conversation that might spark your interest for using Docs in your office might be, how can we streamline out approval workflow? How are we tracking design questions? What if we're not at our desk at all? So, with Autodesk Docs, you can use those functions with these multiple types of file format as well. So that's another feature that Autodesk Docs has, is the range of file format that are being supported within the Autodesk Docs viewer. This list show the full range from design files like Revit, AutoCAD, IFC, PDFs, and media files, and even Office docs like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So you can view the video or share design intent through 3D model specs and markups, make collaboration more flexible and accessible for everyone involved. I see some question here. We can get through this and then I'll answer it towards the end if that's okay. I'm going to walk you through a demo of Autodesk Docs. So focusing on the core feature that design team may use. So we'll start here at the Files tab, and you'll see the project file folder, which is more like folder structure, if you will. You can set up however you need it to. You'll see many other functions: add subfolder, sorting, upload files or link file. You can download all your source file, check your file log, and create transmittal right inside Docs file function. permission setting and other setting on that available. So in the permission setting here, you can give your user team member access, limit their permission if they don't need more information than they need to. In the far right in setting, there's other function that scan for duplicate files. And here, package, helping you keep content clean and standardized and version and access. Then we'll take a quick look at specification tab, which leads you to organize project specs by division. I'm hovering a few of those so you can see how they're stored and accessed just like any other file. If you're looking at this as PDF in your specs. So here we are. Yep. Then we moved on to the review tabs. This is where you can create formal approval workflow. We're going to review some items pulled directly from the Files tab, a file module. And you can create what type of workflow that you would like it to happen. Here, and routing them to, different team members and for review. And then, if you have something that you need to sign off, and this chart show like who initiated by and to. And then transmittal tabs let you create the package and send project documents. I'm creating transmittal within the file right here. Selected a file and complete what is sent to either within my network, or I can do that externally. Then we're going to look into, let me see here, issues tab, where you're seeing where you can create issue. And I'll mention here that the issues create within the docs more general issues. Think of it more like a flat record, meaning you're not referencing specific location. Issues in design collaboration, and we'll go over in a little bit, can be dropped directly on a PDF and drawings or even model in Revit, but within Docs, it's just a flat file. Then in the reports tab, you can create report, either issues by detail, summary, or things like that. And it gives you a variety of function if you want to, look at in issues in the past 7 days, 14 days. You can run a report here, and when you do run the report, you will, once complete, it will send you an email to you, and then you can definitely share. There's a PDF there. Okay. Go there. Yep. Okay. Then in the members tab, you'll see here that you can add members to we add project participant. I want to note though that you should first invite your members to the hub, then you can add it to the project. So in here, I went ahead and add a project member, and I can design a designated role and access level for this particular project. Once you add the member, you'll see that the status is invited. You just have to wait until he accepts it. And if he needs to participate in the design collaboration, in BIM Collaborate, you need access to Revit, you'll have to toggle that so he have access to Collaborate. And then also be exploring the Bridge tab, where you can share folder and projects with the external partner. Time here. You can you see that you can create a one-way bridge and specify target folder, and also you can set up automation. So here I want to make sure that things are automatically sync folder update to the target project. I'm sharing if I have the same material using 2 other projects. This tends to happen in architecture firm. So I can specify the location to another project. Yep. Okay. With automation. I'll also mention here that you can import from a project as built from PlanGrid is a new option that is now available. If you're trying to migrate from PlanGrid to ACC, you can do so here. And then finally, we'll wrap up this section with the setting tab, to give you information like project level configuration, project information, general data, start date, end dates, and that type of stuff. So Autodesk continue to expand what Docs can do. Some of the recent updates are especially helpful for architects. Bulk restore, mobile enhancement, attribute filtering, and deep links to issue. All these reduce the time spent navigating files and increase time spent designing and coordinating. You also notice improvement in reviews workflow, transmittal, making it easier to standardize how you share information with owners and consultant. Docs give you control of your files. BIM Collaborate Pro gives you control over your design, collaboration, and coordination. We're coming back to this slide for a moment just to orient it ourselves. We touched on the 3 main products under the ACC umbrella earlier. But for our purpose today, the focus is on BIM Collaborate Pro, the tools that live inside the design phase of the ACC and support cloud work sharing, model coordination, and team collaboration. Everything we've already seen in Docs, file versioning, issue review, ties directly into how BIM Collaborate Pro functions. There are really 2 parts of the experience here. One is what you see inside ACC web platform, and other is what is happening inside Revit itself. You'll see some of the key benefit, things like cloud connected workflow, productivity gains, and data insight. These help paint the picture of why BC Pros matters. But we're going to focus why you're here for, which is the design process, right? Inside the design collaboration module on the web, rather than going through all this one by one, I'll focus on a few design teams tend to use most. First, the home view. This gives you a real-time snapshot of model activity and team contribution. Everything visualized using swim lane, which help you see who's working, what's been shared, and when. The issues tool allows you to flag coordination problem right inside the model, link them to specific sheets or view, which is especially useful during internal reviews. Project status give you transparency, who share packages, helping you understand dependency and version control, version history without chasing down the email. Other tools like correspondent meetings, report. Members are there to support documentation, communication, user management, so everything stays centralized and traceable. Another powerful features with BIM Collaborate Pro is Bridge, which lets you share a package across projects and company. So this is especially useful when architects working, within the organization, but also with outside consultant or ownership teams where you need to share model data, but you don't want to give him full access to the project. Here, you will create a one-way bridge, so you can invite the external team here. Obviously, you can see here, publish, timeline, and but basically you'll be creating a one-way bridge. You can invite an external, internal to collaborate, folder package to share specify on how it appear on their side. You'll also see the shared content appear on the right on the recipient project timeline. So, it's not just a file drop, integrate into your workflow. And if you ever need to reverse the sharing, you can unbridge at any time. And let's move on here. Oh, we'll go back. Another module that comes with the BC Pro is model coordination. It brings automate clash detection into your design environment. You can load models in Revit, Navisworks format, run clash tests, and filter result by discipline or by object types. The best part, you can convert clashes directly into issues, assign them to a team member, and track them to resolution, all without ever leaving the platform. As a part of BC Pro, you can view insight with unified project level data, analytics, and predictive insight to help you get up to speed with what's going on in a project. Assess trends and pattern in project data, identify any gaps and problems, and use the predictive risk data to improve project efficiency. You can also customize the dashboard to show whether, RFI you intend to use build, Autodesk build later. You can see your RFI in here. And when I mentioned about the partner activities, meaning your card library for your insight, if you have Matterport or any other third-party services, you can customize and add it to your insight dashboard here. And with BIM Collaborate Pro, you can co-author models directly into cloud using tools you already worked in, Revit, Civil 3D, and even Plant 3D. For Revit user, this means faster sync time, fewer errors, and no need for VPN or local servers. Civil 3D teams can manage XREF and data shortcut in a shared cloud workspace. And Plant 3D workflows benefit from centralized access to compliance tracking. Let's now look at the design collaboration module in the BIM Collaborate Pro. So we'll start off in the Home tab, which give you high-level view of project activities and project timeline here to help you track model packages, share, and consume. You can create package here as well. And below, you'll see the list of models and views, the changes that were made. Now, next to the Issue tab, this is a consolidated all design-related issues across your team space. You see item and team work in progress issue and team packages issue, which mean issues associated with the model version shared out to other teams. When you click an issue here, you can view it directly on Sheets or Model, if you put it in the Model. This gives you a clear visual context for coordination and resolution. And then moving on to Project Status tab. This view gives you a timeline of what's been published and by whom. If I were to click on the details here, I should see information on there. If I click on the path, it will take me to where that file is stored, which is within Docs. So you never have to leave the ACC. Everything keep it in one platform. And the Changes tab is probably one of the most powerful features here. This tab let you set up watch group, basically save set of elements or category you want to track. I see here that there's some changes recently on roof and stairs, and I see if I want to compare version 41 and 51 and show changes, I can put those two models and see them together, what was modified. I see some roof, stairs were modified recently. So I can get a side-by-side comparison. And then the Meetings tab, I can create a meeting within this module. I can, comment on, hey, we were just looking at the stairs, so can we do a meeting on the stairs? I can set the meeting time here, add some description, meeting discussion if I would like to be more thorough. I can also add the video conference link as well, either team or either team or Zoom. The correspondent tab is basically the same as Docs. You can manage emails. You can also have access to project-specific file, a specific email address. I am mentioning about that stair again in this correspondent. I really want that meeting to happen. But yeah, I can file the email from, external consultant and keep everything in one. And then the remaining tabs like report, member, and bridge are also consistent with what we've seen in Docs here. Just a quick notes though, if your team members are also working in Revit and contributing model, they'll need a design collaboration access. So, I have to add David here and then give him access for the design collaboration module. Now, let's take a look at the model coordination module where we can automatically detect and manage clashes between model and a different team. We will begin in the Models tab. I've selected tool. I'm going to select two models here. I see some changes were made recently, and I would like to open in the viewer. The system automatically, detect clashes. If I go to clashes, I should see the red and the green where things are clashing. And I can click on the item. I can either say this is not an issue or it is an issue. So let's create an issue here. I can drop the orange issue symbol and capture the thumbnails of the issue here, recorded the what the issue is, specific type, added washer. I can add location, other information like due date, I need you to look at this as soon as possible. Or I can also add root cause. And then I could even reference for things like submittal or product data that would be stored in Autodesk Docs. I could also save view for so that I can access, sooner or faster. And save to Docs for those who don't have access to the design collaboration module. I can save to Docs and share. So in the Views tab, that we were just saving a view, so I can navigate that quickly. This specific view tab is just act like the library of saved perspective, so without re-navigating the model again. Next is this Clash tab, which shows both active and close clashes. So here I'm going to click an active clash, and I'm going to review the two models that have a lot of clashes together. If I click it, it will take me to a viewer. And I can click on one of these clashes. And I could either say, this is not an issue, and give it a reason so that we can move on. And I want to mention that this is very much like in Revit. So if you, you don't need access in Revit every day, like PM, or, you just don't have access to Revit while you're out in the office, you can still, access the project information here. When we look at the Issues tab, this is a list of coordination issues created within this module, including the one I just made. From here, you can continue tracking, commenting, or resolving the issue as needed. Yeah, as you can see here. So, and then the remaining tabs, meeting, correspondent, report, members, they all function the same way in Docs and the design collaboration. So earlier we looked at BIM Collaborate Pro through the ACC platform, but the other half of the experience happened right inside of Revit, where most of us are doing the actual design work. The key benefit here is staying in one environment, so you can publish, track issues, and coordinate it without ever leaving Revit. So let's take a look into how Revit Cloud Work Sharing fits into the workflow. Before we dive deeper in how we share the model, though, we need to pause and ask, are we sharing internally, externally, with consultant? That decision will guide which method we use. There are three main ways to share the cloud using Revit and BIM Collaborate Pro, and each team might choose differently depending on their workflow level of trust and coordination timing. Method one, control, sharing, consume, publish, model from package. The most structured approach, you publish a model, share it, and then other can consume it. Method two, linking from the share folder. Slightly more flexible. Instead of consuming packages, you just link directly to a model. It would that was shared with you. And method 3, live linking. This is the fastest, most real-time method and most similar to traditional Revit work sharing. And that would considering like bridge that we discussed earlier. So this you're linking a live model that updates immediately, which is great for an internal team or with like a tight collaboration. So method 1, method 2 are schedule and deliberate, often used weekly, bi-weekly, or milestone update. And method 3 is live and instant, but comes with less control. So we won't have time to cover all the methods today. The cloud work sharing I'm about to share you is method 1 with consume from share package. So here we have a model. We want to collaborate. And what we're going to do is checking the publish setting, which we want to publish. Then we're going to sync with central in the cloud. So we can see our project on Manage Cloud Model button that sync and should be available on the cloud. Now we open the Design Collaboration module on the ACC. So the team gets notified through the project timeline that the new package is available. Here, the architecture team decide what to include in the package. The package can then be exported and consumed by other team. We can also visualize design changes in the cloud. Here, the structure team see the new package from the architecture team is available. After checking it out and see the changes from architecture team, the structural team accepted the change and press consume, brings them to the clashes, and they are analyzed automatically right away. Clashes can be shown with any discipline teams within the projects. We can assign issue, create issue and assign. Issue can be made within the clashes and can be assigned and tracked to ensure different teams. Accountability within the team. So now we can see that BIM Collaborate Pro sits at the center of the design coordination ecosystem, connecting all stakeholder across architecture, structure, MEP, civil, and beyond. At the core is your project data, models, drawings, PDFs, and other documents. Surrounding that are critical workflow, design collaboration, co-authoring in Revit, document management, issue tracking, and project insight tools, all built into the same platform. What's important here is that each discipline, whether it's architecture, structure, MEP, or even owner, is working from the same shared cloud environment, but with access and tools that make sense for their roles. This is what allows true real-time collaboration. So Autodesk continues to roll out update to BIM Collaborate Pro on regular basis, often quarterly. These updates are based on users' feedback and evolving project needs. So if you want to see something, you want Revit to do something, or you have features that you want to see in ACC, please submit. Feel free to submit the feature request. So later you can see new features, that you would like, and some improved coordination, some insight improvement, and control across your project team. So here are just the few highlights from the May 2025 updates. To wrap up this section, is the real-time collaboration deliver. Fewer delays, more transparency, a better alignment across team, with everyone is working in the same environment, with access to live models, clear responsibilities, and automated coordination tools. You can move faster, make better decision. And most importantly, you can spend more time designing and less time managing files and chasing update. These I want to point out as June 7th, Autodesk had updated new model management tools in a package and sold. This is a part of broader effort to simplify and streamline subscription path for model-based workflow. The key change is that BIM Collaborate, again, the subscription package, not the tools, is being phased out as a standalone subscription. But don't worry, the core functionality that team depends on, like model coordination, design collaboration, and docs, is still fully available. It's just being bundled differently. If you already have BIM Collaborate subscription, it will stay active through the end of your current term. And after that, you'll need to transition to one of these three options. So model management bundle, which is now including Navisworks Manage and Recap Pro, BIM Collaborate Pro. So you can either upgrade from BIM Collaborate to BIM Collaborate Pro or the other two, which include design, collaboration, and cloud work sharing for Revit and Civil 3D, or Navisworks Manage, which now with added cloud connectivity features. So when we look at the Autodesk Construction Cloud, BIM Collaborate Pro, and Autodesk Docs stand out as a backbone of the design collaboration. BIM Collaborate Pros empower the team to co-author models in Revit, Civil 3D, or Plan 3D. Meanwhile, Autodesk Docs provide a single source of truth with version control, markup tools, and approved workflow. Together, they connect your design intent to the entire project lifecycle. And if your team also use Autodesk, will also use Autodesk Build or take off later on, these tools provide the foundation, ensure the model, documents, and the design, and the decision flow from design to construction in the full life cycle. Though those two presentations will be in a separate presentation later on by one of our other presenters. So in summary, we start looking at the challenges of the disconnected design workflow, something most architects are all too familiar with. We explore the ACC, and then the Autodesk Docs and BIM Collaborate Pro to help you streamline coordination. And then we review real-time tools that can keep teams aligned without endless back and forth. And finally, we looked at the recent licensing update for the BIM Collaborate Pro, BIM Collaborate and BIM Collaborate Pro. So you know what to expect moving forward.